And I've said this many times on this show. The French do two things that I think are incomparable. One is that physical, slapstick, silly comedy that just makes me laugh to no end. The second are women going crazy. And I swear to God.
We're back. And we're going to cut that.
Yeah, we're back. And so, welcome back. And so this week, we start with Patty, eh?
Yeah, my movie is The Substance with Demi Moore, Dennis Quaid, and Margaret Qualley. Those are the main actors. Director is Coralie Vergreet. And I listened to an interview of her explaining what she thought this movie was about, that she tried to explain. And she said, it's about women, what they violently do to their body to conform to societal norms.
Oh, my God.
And that pretty much says it. So, Demi Moore is Elizabeth, and Elizabeth is renowned for her aerobic show and gets fired at her 50th birthday. And so this company promises her a quick fix to enhance her real, and I'm doing quotes here, real self. Okay, so it happens and you see what happens. And I can't really tell you more than this because it gets pretty graphic and deep. But the message is very clear. The brutality we women put ourselves through to become what the societal norms say it should be. And that's all I'm going to say.
Okay.
Oh my goodness! Wow, I got a lot more to
say
say about this movie.
Me too.
Because there was a movie back in the '60s that I remember called Seconds, and it basically dealt with the
that was a
same
great
thing,
movie.
right? With Rock Hudson, remember?
Right.
I didn't see it.
Well,
What's it called?
It's basically
It's
Seconds.
best movie.
But
Seconds?
it's,
Best
yeah,
movie.
because what it is about just this elderly gentleman who basically is made young again.
Mm.
You know, like picture somebody who looks like 60, then all of a sudden he turns into Rock Hudson. Through
That'd be all right.
science and everything, and he's physically healthy and everything, but he does have psychological problems.
Right.
Now, I
'Cause
didn't
he's
want.
60.
I literally didn't want to see this movie because I thought, oh my God, it's just about a woman, and then she becomes young again. Blah blah blah. I thought, oh, this is sad. This is like pathetic to me to watch something this.
But you see it every day.
But well, exactly. Why would I want to watch a movie about it?
Yeah, exactly.
So,
But you see it every day.
but then it's like,
yeah.
then it's
Again.
like, okay. First of all, when you picked it, I thought, okay, well, Demi Moore's in it, and I thought, Demi Moore looks pretty good. And when I saw her, I thought, wow, she's not quite of my generation, I think, but she's almost there. But I remember her when she was young, right? So it's like, okay, let me watch this. And then I found out it's a female director.
Absolutely.
And no, most importantly, a French female director.
Right.
And I've said this many times on this show. The French do two things that I think are incomparable. One is that physical, slapstick, silly comedy that just makes me laugh to no end. The second are women going crazy. And I swear to God, they
That's
just
such
do
a
it so
guy
well.
thing to say.
It's so true.
I think it's so true. Every excellent, and I mean, some of the greatest movies are about women going mad, and
Like
it's
what?
the Frenchman.
Like
Oh,
what?
the one about what was her name?
Welcome to the shits.
Well, no, that's the silly one. I'm talking about the women going crazy, like things like the one that Rodin's protege.
Rodin's
Protege.
I'm waiting, Lon.
Well, okay,
Do
you
you
have
know
time?
Rodin's protege?
I'm gonna look it up. I can't remember her name, but
I agree with you, actually.
But or watching like Mew Mew in films where she just goes sort of crazy. But see, when you tell me name the film, see that's Camille Claudel. I think
Yes.
that's what his
Yes.
one was. Okay, they for some reason they really key into the female mentality about how life is just drives them crazy to them to go. Oh, there was that great French one that was like a disgusting violent movie, which I thought was excellent. I'll come up with the title for that one for
When
you
you
later.
have time.
But here's a movie in which, like you said, you're watching an older woman having, and like I said, I just thought, oh, okay, Demi Moore is just going to become young, so she's hardly going to be in the movie.
That's what I thought.
And it's not that.
No.
That's what took me to that one level. It's like, oh, this is something. Okay, this is one sort of like, oh, I'm surprised by this.
Right,
This
me
is
too.
taken to a level that I'm not expecting. So what happens is she separates herself. But what I love is they keep reminding you that, okay,
It's her.
you are one.
Yeah.
You, despite the fact that you physically become two different people, it keeps reminding me, do not ever forget you are
You're
one.
one. Yeah, absolutely.
And I will say this, because that's the one thing, even though Demi Moore did, I think, win the Golden Globe for Best Actress.
Yeah, she did.
I was
Yeah.
disappointed because I found out that Margaret Qualley was Best Supporting Actress. And I said, no,
She was
that's
good.
wrong. No, they are equally the actresses in this
Absolutely.
movie.
Absolutely. I agree.
So I sort of, I don't like the way they pushed her into because they are both very good, I think, in this movie. I think they're also very brave to do the nude scenes that they did. I've always admired women who did nude scenes, and not for the reason you think. Just the fact that I think to be naked on screen, that's
Vulnerable.
it is,
So
but
vulnerable.
but it's also once it's there, it's never going to go away. It's
Yeah, but
always
they're
going to
gonna
be
make you
there.
look good. Trust me.
And especially if you're going to have children in this, it's like
Right.
just think how they're going to react, and
Yes.
et cetera. So
Your
I
grandchildren,
give it
his grandma.
exactly.
Right.
I give it to them for having the courage to do this, but I understand why they did it because this woman who's directing this,
Right.
she really did such a fascinating job of showing you the injustice that women have to go through at of an age, right?
And this is what she said about it. A woman's internalized violence from female for female beauty standards and ageism.
But what I thought also, this is such a great commentary to me, again, hitting my age. And I'm not as bitter as some older people, but just looking back and saying, how can these young people behave this way? How can they behave this way? Because what's happening is you're seeing the younger version of herself, in my opinion, behave badly and sort of like forgetting that they are one.
Yeah,
And I said, that's such a great commentary in youth because they have so much to look forward to. Elderly people like myself, it's like, okay, I'm still vibrant. I want to go out and do things and have
Right.
fun, but I still respect. I have a lot of respect for young people. I work with a lot
I
of
have
people.
none.
Well, exactly. See,
You know why? Because they don't respect older people, which they are going to become sooner or
But
later.
you're right.
and that's exactly what's going on in this movie, in my
Absolutely.
opinion, right?
Yeah.
What surprised me to another level is once that part goes on, because what you did mention is that, like you said, that Demi Moore is the older, like I said, aerobics
A
person.
version of
Right.
her.
And then, they want a younger person, and her younger version says,
out.
oh, I can come and do that. So she does that. And so now she's, again, that equally big star. So now it's like this conflict of like, yeah, see, if I'm young, I can be a star again. So is it, and I keep looking at, is it the older mentality thinking,
Right,
yeah, I want to
right.
be young because I want my old glory?
That confused me,
Or
too.
is it the young person saying, oh, look, I'm hot again, so I can do
I think
whatever
that's
I
more
want
it.
to?
I think that was more it.
And then that's why this movie is such a weird psychological thriller. They
Yeah.
called it a horror film. I didn't quite see it like that, but I must admit, towards the
horror.
end of the movie,
It was definitely.
it gets horrific.
Funky.
It turns into a
But-
trauma.
Out of
it's very funny
curiosity.
because Bob had mentioned it to me before, but I agreed that it had think of a thriller in terms of Cronenberg, David Cronenberg,
good
that organic kind of grotesqueness.
Yeah.
This movie just took me to some place that really did surprise me. So I will say that that's why as much as I didn't want to like the movie, I sort of almost resent liking the movie.
All right.
I will give it to the two actresses. I thought they were excellent. And then I
Margaret Qualley.
also give it to the
Dennis
director.
Quaid.
See, okay, that's what I'll give it to the director. All the men are bimbos in this movie. That's
Yeah,
what I thought
sweetie.
they pointed out very well.
You got to sound. You have to block.
The door closed.
That what
I'll
makes me
close the
laugh
door.
is the fact that the male characters are all the stereotypical male characters that women used to be back in my movies days of the 70s and 80s.
Yeah, I agree.
That they're the
I agree.
bimbos, they're shallow,
Yeah.
they're just there for their physical beauty. So I thought that was also a very good commentary in my opinion. So, but I caution people to watch this movie. It's not for everyone, but it is sort of a fascinating movie. And if you want to see a movie about madness and, like I said, to me, this is about a woman going mad. I would recommend this movie.
Yeah, for me, I actually did enjoy the movie too. It does. I don't know. After, when I go back and think about it, it makes so many points. You know, it's making a point that. Let me see if someone can. And some stuff I wrote that what you were talking about, but before I forget. Of course, there's obviously nudity, but the movie, the subject matter in the movie requires nudity in a way. You know.
Yeah.
So, and also like you, I think both characters are equally sharing the stage. Demi Moore is obviously the most famous one, so she's gonna get that thing. So I also thought that it made the point about beauty standards and age, and also getting discarded or replaced when one no longer is considered relevant. So, and the extent one goes to retain relevance. So, but the idea is very interesting. I made me think of like, okay, so the instructions that don't feed her after midnight, don't expose her to light, and don't give her water.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a Gremlin movie.
So and also it does make, which you made a point, and I didn't think about it, which was very clever too, is how the movie shows the point about youth too, how they really hey kids, they're really stupid. Everything is so far away
Right.
that you don't appreciate what you have, and she's telling you have to do this. It's telling us somebody young you have to be disciplined this way. You have to have the discipline of somebody who's older.
Right.
Listen, asking a young person to have the discipline of an older person.
Right.
Young people are not gonna have the discipline. They want to party. I do this. I look this good. No matter what I do, I'm always looking good. But in her case, it's gonna affect her. Well, it's gonna affect her than in the other side, and so it makes the point about that. That's what young people do. That's why they have the term youth
Energy.
is wasted on the young.
Right.
Youth is wasted on the young.
But it's generational. It's what happens. Doesn't matter what's going on. It's always going to happen. That's youth just thinks that way. So but yeah, I thought it made a couple of towards the end. I thought it was getting a little too like Toxic Avenger movies. I thought the movie was really good up to towards the end. I started now you're going into some really weird stuff.
Yeah, she did.
But it does. But I can see what they're doing it too, because it makes sense when you start playing with something that's dangerous. There's going to be side effects, and you're playing with fire, so these are going to be the side effects of it. And also made another thing that it's going to be a spoiler. Another thing that I made too is that I guess there's a point where it's a cycle that repeats itself, where now her younger, better self starts to go to the issue that she needs a younger, better self in a way. So it never ends. So it's a cycle that never ends.
Right.
So
Because it's useless.
so the movie is actually a very good. I mean, actually, if I was a psychology professor, I might give it to my students to watch because it makes very interesting points about that.
Absolutely.
So I did enjoy it. I thought it was really good. I thought the really odd concept, but really like now say it's French and now it makes sense too.
Yeah, right.
And I see any point that I might have missed I did the Gremlins thing.
Well, women
yeah,
understand,
so,
especially a director, what women go through. And because she's an older director, she's going to see this.
Oh,
I thought Margaret Qualley was great as the
No,
second
she was
self.
good too. But,
And it's funny because the only thing I'd ever seen her in was she played this very meek, quiet maid who was trying to survive job by job.
you know, that was a HBO series,
Yeah, it
right?
was.
That Bob
Amazing.
mentioned that. But see, isn't she the one that's in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
No, yeah, she's that too.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
but I'd only seen her in the Maid, and so seeing her in this kind of role where she's very brash, like 20-year-olds are, You know, you think you've got the world. I mean, I was. You think you got the world by the balls.
Well, she sort of does because don't forget that she's young, but she has that experience
she's
of that 50-year-old
Yeah,
woman.
and she's getting everything.
So she has everything at her hands in a way. But
Yeah, but she fucks it up.
well,
Because she's how old?
20 something.
And
That's
and you see how,
Absolutely.
and after a while, becomes they're the same person that have to share a week each. But after a while,
yeah.
it becomes a thing where they start fighting each other now. Oh, you're gonna do this?
Right.
Okay, I'm gonna have chicken and whatever and butter and so it becomes a thing. They're fighting.
Clashing, yeah.
They're the same,
Right.
and then she's reminded you are the same person. Like she wants to,
You
They
are
keep
one.
saying
you're
that.
fighting her, but remember, you're fighting her, but you and her are one. So.
But you know what? They really aren't. They really aren't.
Well,
Well, it's
they
a
really
weird-
are. That was the thing. The fact that you
They
forget
are, but
that.
they're really
because the
not.
thing is, it depends what you want out of life. Do you really want just to be? That tells you about the Demi Moore's character, the 50-year-old,
Right.
thinking, what does she really want in life? She didn't want her own life. Because the one great scene I thought she had is that she runs into this old friend that she knows. And he looks at her and says, "Oh, remember me? We were in high
Right.
school," and he was like a geeky guy, and he gives her number.
He really likes
And
it.
then
She's
no,
just,
well the thing is no, she realized, oh, let me try and date the nice guy instead of like a Dennis
Right.
Quaid kind of person,
It
right?
never works.
But then when she gets ready to go on the date, there's this incredibly sequence where it's almost like horrifyingly sad.
Right.
Because she gets ready, she looks great. She tells the guy, and he's sort of surprised, oh, we're going to go. But then she sees a poster of her younger self.
Right.
Then she goes back to the mirror, starts kicking on more. And it's like, she's never even satisfied with herself at her
But
age.
most women go through
She
this.
starts looking like
Well, that's-
Joker
There's
after
a
a while.
woman-
Well, exactly.
There's
right.
a younger self you always see in the mirror,
Right.
and the mirror all of a sudden does not project that.
But that's what I
And
think.
this is for most women, this is a reality.
And this
there's
is this Demi Moore we're talking about.
And,
Yeah,
and
really.
this exactly, and that's
62.
why I think the director is really pointing out that no, it's okay if you look your age. You don't have
yeah,
to
but
keep
they
putting on
say
makeup.
that, but really you
Well,
can't.
no.
No, it's
why?
not good.
Why is that? Is it to attract men though? Is it because you want to be attracted to
You
men?
want to be desirable,
See,
not
and
only
that's-
to men, but yourself.
And that's the thing is that's why I think she's saying it's like if you're 50 and you're comfortable with yourself, you'll be happy. You don't have to go through that.
You don't
I
have
really
to.
think she's saying that in this
I'm
movie.
saying what societal norms pressurizes you to do.
Well,
And
that's
every
why-
woman can relate to
But you
this.
know what,
Well,
movie.
no. And that's why I think that the director's saying is that no, you want to break those societal norms. You don't want to do that because
Nobody
of
will
that.
make
But we're talking
ageism.
about that
good.
she sees the poster too. It says that a famous joke that people will say that which makes think about it when she's doing makeup in the poster.
Yeah.
That women don't do makeup to try for men. They do it for other women.
Absolutely.
See, and that's actually pretty good because
It's
this
true.
is a movie for women. I really think
It
that.
really is.
I mean, because I was fascinated about how many layers, and like I said, that's why I thought this. I watched it twice because I thought, okay,
You are
I'm
so good.
I'm missing something here. There's something really bizarre going in this movie that I'm not comprehending.
It's bizarre, but it's reality. But it's showing you the reality of the bizarreness.
Well, I think they're showing you that how, like you said, a majority of women, unfortunately, in society think that way.
yeah.
And I don't
Look how
think-
many plastic surgeries there are.
Oh, exactly. Yeah.
Even my own hairdresser has just had a major surgery to look younger.
Right. See, and that's what I don't get.
Yeah.
And let's face it, I'm sorry, Demi Moore, she's
Yeah,
had
but-
the surgery only
Yeah.
because when I saw her, I thought, oh, it doesn't look like Demi Moore. But then they flashed to a younger, like a poster of her,
Right,
like in the
right.
80s. I thought, that's the Demi Moore I recognize,
What she said, when she said like the screenplay, it said that she did it because it was basically talking to her about herself.
Yeah.
This movie, this movie's about me. Anyways, that's what I think.
Susie?
Yeah, actually, you just kind of made me think something more interesting than I wrote.
What?
Just that's really true. It's kind of like, but whose fault is that?
I don't know. Who's it?
Exactly.
It's our fault.
Women.
Exactly.
Women.
It's our fault.
we
I
fall
totally
for
agree.
it?
Yes.
Yeah, maybe.
So what I wrote was, in the
I don't know,
time
that's
of
pretty good.
Ozempic,
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
this film hits the mark.
Yeah, it does.
Demi Moore is fantastic as Elizabeth Sparkle. starting to age out of the forever young, arrested development demands of fame in the Hollywood milieu. And that's so true. It's like we're forever young. We're forever 20.
It's so exhausting.
It's
There's
ridiculous.
a store called that.
What do you do
It's
with the other
exhausting and
80
you can't
years?
fight it.
What do you do with the other 80 years of your life?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's
like
exhausting.
her Hollywood star is fading as she is.
Yeah.
You know,
But she's only 50 years old in this. But in reality, she's 62.
she senses this and is becoming desperate to hang on to it. There is a new product called The Substance,
That's right.
right? Which creates a younger version of herself that will allow her to continue working in the youth obsessed entertainment business. And that's exactly it. The youth obsessed entertainment business.
Because you become invisible when you're not youth obsessed.
The Substance has rules, though, very strict rules,
Yeah.
right? And this is where begins the horror story.
So you do see it as a horror story.
It is a horror story.
Corelli
But
forget
reality.
does a great job as director, and Margaret Qualley is brutal in the way as Sue, who is literally Sue is the other her,
Yeah.
the young her, right? Sucking the life out of Elizabeth.
Literally.
You know what? If I was in my 20s, I'd probably do the same thing.
Of course you would.
Yeah. I remember how I thought in my 20s.
And this is why I go back to Maria, the thing we do with Maria. It's like, this is, you have to find a
Transition
new
point?
identity for yourself.
transition.
You have to not think of yourself as the hot, young, whatever. You
Entrepreneur.
have to, whatever.
Yeah.
You have to think of yourself as the middle-aged, attractive. But there is nothing in our society
That
that
agrees with that.
that agrees with
Especially
that.
the word
But
middle
it doesn't
age.
matter. It doesn't matter.
Absolutely.
Right? Dennis Quaid is
He's great in
delicious
this.
scoundrel
So good at this.
When he's
as
eating.
her agent in this sci-fi horror. And that's exactly true. He is fantastic. But his role is so evil and not likable that
You like him.
it's almost like adorable.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny.
He really is
I was
adorable
going to
in it.
say, I don't think it's evil. I think that's sort of the reality.
Yes.
That
It
sort of
is the
charming,
reality.
Yeah.
charismatic person, a male who's in his 60s and telling women, "Oh, you're too old."
Yeah.
But let me tell you this.
That is ironic.
It's women who have to change this. Not men,
That's true.
not society, not ever. Women have to change this. And not doing the Ozempic, not doing the face surgery, not doing allowing yourself to be beautiful as an older woman.
And you know
that's
what?
you
Even
have
if
to
you're
do.
not quote
So what
unquote
was it?
beautiful, then pick another word for it. It's like it doesn't matter. It's so I mean, thank God. I mean, I'm vain, but I'm not that vain. You know what
No,
I mean?
you're
I
not.
was going to say,
That
I never
saves you.
thought she was vain, period.
Oh, she was vain. What?
No,
Demi
you.
Moore? Oh
You.
no, I'm not vain because I'm too lazy.
Well, she,
You have to
no, she
spend a
is
lot of
vain.
energy being vain,
She's human, so of course she's vain.
and she's in the
But
business.
you know what? But you have to make a choice.
Yeah, you
But
do.
what was the
About
thing you were
these
saying
things.
that good-looking people really have a different life than everybody else?
I
That's true.
thoroughly
In
agree with
terms of
that.
getting jobs, getting just everything, just things.
But good looking is only so long.
Yeah,
Right.
but still,
Yeah.
like
They
that's the
don't
one
tell
scene,
you that.
and that's the one scene in the movie that kind of shows it too when she's hammering away because she's making that extra room to put the bodies.
Right?
You're hearing the other.
Which movie are we talking about?
The
Substance.
substance. What's called the substance.
Okay,
I
substance.
mean, we got off the movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Back to the movie,
Yeah.
and there's some neighbor knocking on the door because she's making a racket, and she
Right.
opens. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, never mind. It was so great.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I say, and I remember hearing somewhere someone made a comment like that, like it was a comedian making a point. Something like, do you think good-looking people see the world as like there's nothing wrong in the world? It's like, everything is just
But
great.
good
But
looking,
no.
but good looking is relative to only a certain amount of age.
Right, time period. Right.
But you don't
Exactly.
But
know
what's
it's gonna
funny
go
is that
away.
I always agreed because I always said there are two things that will open any doors:
looks.
money, well, extreme good looks.
Oh yeah.
That will
Not
open
even
any
extreme,
doors.
babe.
Oh no, I'm talking extreme because when you are that good looking, whether you're male or
Yeah,
female,
I
doesn't
agree.
matter.
I agree.
You'll get in anywhere.
I agree.
you
Who
know?
isn't good looking at 25? Everybody's good looking at 25.
Not
I don't-
everybody.
I don't think I was.
You're saying that as an older person.
I'm gonna say I
But you're
was.
saying
Yeah.
that as an older person.
Right.
But when you're a younger person, there is a difference between very good looking and
Looking. Right.
just average looking.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, but I agree with you on that.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
like that's a key.
Exactly.
So for women, it's generally very good looking, even though it can be for men,
Yeah.
but not the same as for women.
Right.
And for men, money is it.
Right.
Yeah. Extreme wealth
Success.
or extreme good looks.
Okay. Should we make a?
Oh yeah, we should rate this. Have we
Yeah.
done that? You,
Okay.
you done? You were the
Are
last
you
one.
done?
Discussing your points.
Wait, is it me?
No, I'm gonna start rating, but
Start
okay.
rating.
Okay, just because this was just a bizarre surprise,
Okay.
I will give this a 6.
Shit! I thought you'd give it a 7.
I thought it was very interesting actually the psychological concepts in it.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'll give it a 9.
Wow.
I was very surprised at how much I liked this movie. I thought it was really interesting, and I was so happy that Demi Moore
Won the Globe.
won the Globe
too.
and played the part
Yeah, me too.
because I really like Demi Moore, and I thought she's getting interesting roles now as opposed to before.
Well, she's gonna get a lot of interesting
Yeah,
ones after
yeah.
this.
So
What do you
I
think?
thought I'll give her a 9 also.
Wow.
I'll give it an 8.
Nice.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
That will be it. So that's the end because we're not going to do Bob's movie till Bob's here.
Because
so
I wanna
we can
slaughter it.
Slaughter him.
And he needs to, and he got some explaining to do.
He's got a lot of explaining. to
So he's got a Lucy. You got a lot of explaining to do, right? It's like
really
so.
does.
Yeah. So that's it for 77.
do. Right.
And we hope you enjoyed the movie. And so far, we're not on fire.
Yeah.
It's always a good thing.
Goodbye.
Okay.
Bye. Bye.
Good night.